my feel-good breakfast show.
You're on your Feel Good Breakfast show right here on S3, all in the name of making sure that your Tuesday morning is oh so lively, baby. And we are coming to you live from the Johannesburg studio. And of course, we've been having so much fun, from doing the water challenge with Tyler to getting into a little bit of baking in Cape Town. And right about now, honey, they say that you have to be absolutely odd to be number one. And the Odd Number Agency has lived up to their motto indeed, because at the 2023 Loeries, they did pick up a whole lot of awards, but one of them that sticks out just so happens to be the best radio commercial. And today, this is why we are joined by some of the bright minds behind this beautiful award. We're talking about the Chief Creative Officer of the Odd Number Agency, it is Sbu Sitole, as well as Nima Naus, one of their writers. Welcome to the show, family. How are you?
Thank you.
Well,
Very good,
having
thanks.
us.
That's good, guys. I'm so proud of you. Congratulations. Of course, it was your budget insurance advert that got you guys to the top, which
Yes.
we're so happy about.
Yeah.
And Sbu, I want to ask you, as Mr. Creative Officer, of course, we know that you guys got there with the bad advice happens to good South Africans.
Yeah.
Talk to us about that theme and how did it even come about?
So that came about from a campaign we had done for budget, which was Bad Things Happen to Good South Africans.
Yes.
And that was a campaign that we launched with Silo Makagangube and Faf de Klerk. And it just felt like such a beautiful platform to just continue iterating on. So
Yeah.
I guess the next chapter of that was not only bad things happen to good South Africans, but bad advice happens to good
Come
South Africans.
on, I love that. And hey, listen, there's bad advice that can be given indeed.
All the time.
All the time. But Nima, I want to speak to you because it's so different writing for a television ad than it is to writing for a radio ad.
Yeah.
Speak to us about those differences and how you pretty much come about them.
Yeah, I mean, obviously with radio, you don't have the luxury of visuals. And so there's a bigger job to be done in terms of like creating the world and establishing the space that you're in, the characters that you're speaking to without, having to see them and getting a sense of who they are immediately visually.
Yeah.
So, it's a lot more detailed, but in a very different kind of way.
Yes.
But in a fun and challenging way. And I think Bad Advice did that really well because you got a taste of maybe people in your own lives and, family members that resonate with you as well. And so, yeah, that's pretty much the biggest difference. It's detail-orientated in a way that TV is not.
I love that. And of course, when we talk about people and having to get the right kind of voices for
Yeah.
exactly what you're talking about,
Yeah.
to make that vision come to life. Nima, if you're ever looking, I'm actually on radio. Thank you. But Nima, when you are casting, what do you look for to make sure that this vision does come to life?
Yeah, I think for us it's authenticity in the voice. We're not looking for a performer necessarily. We're looking for somebody who sounds believable.
Yeah.
We want that when you experience the ad and when you hear the story, that you hear, like we did with Bad Advice and like I just mentioned, you hear your family members. You hear your uncle that gives you the worst advice. You hear your aunt that just does not know what's going on. Yeah, It's very important that, those characters feel really realistic in their voice. And so that's what we look for. We're not looking for crazy performances. Yeah.
Yes, and I mean, with you speaking of an aunt, I have the flu at the moment. The other day, one of them told me I must take vinegar and run 400 meters.
Okay,
and
wow.
I'll be fine.
Okay,
you see what I'm
nothing wrong.
saying?
I hear what you're saying.
Bad advice happens to good South
It really
Africans. I'm
does.
very upset about it.
Did you do it?
Yeah, no, because I could tell it was bad advice.
Good.
But in my most believable voice, so listen, we know that your agency has won 50 Loeries. Speak to us about the highlight when we talk about those kinds of achievements for you, rather.
That's crazy. It's very hard to speak about the highlights because I hadn't counted 50 until you mentioned
But now here we are. Yes.
Listen, the highlights have just been watching and seeing the different people who've won the Loeries over the years. Obviously, with the 9 years we've been in the industry and all the wins, there have been lots of different people behind the work. And just watching the people go up on stage and collect the awards for different things, from TV to radio to print, has actually been quite rewarding. I think that's probably been the most rewarding bit of it.
I love that. And speaking of rewarding, actually, Nima, I want to come to you because, of course, we're talking about this vision coming to life. But what would you say is the most rewarding thing about being a writer?
It's definitely being able to tell stories, to tell our stories, to tell my story, It's really cool being able to immortalize a moment in your life in an ad, in a radio script, and just kind of how that lives beyond you. You know, that's really rewarding. And also just the moment of like, you come up with an idea in a very authentic, normal setting, and then you watch a team come together to bring that idea that you kind of had as maybe sometimes a brain fart come to life, come to life in a really beautiful way. That's rewarding, that's powerful, that's amazing. Yeah.
I love that, and especially because as South Africans, we have so many stories.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, and they deserve to be told.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, of course, we know that, in South Africa, especially our landscape, there's always so many different ways to, I guess, approach this thing of being an agency. How do you guys manage to stay relevant and stay on top as well?
Wow, that's interesting. Honesty and insight.
Okay.
I think our ideas tend to come from a lived experience that we like to celebrate. Odd Number is the number 100% black-owned agency in the country, and it has been for a while. And I think why I say that is because we're able to tell stories from a black perspective really well. Very nuanced, tell the real stories, move away from things that are generic, and just kind of look for the human truth in every story we tell.
I love that. And as South Africans, we appreciate honesty, hey? Because sometimes they tell us we're on stage 6, but we're not on stage 6. You know what I mean? It's okay. And Smooth, before I let you guys go, I want to ask you, because there are a lot of young people out there who are looking to you saying, I want to be like them one day. What do you say in terms of trying to get to exactly where you are?
Tenacity is a big thing. It's taken a lot of hard work to get to where we are. I think initially it starts with great risk.
Come on.
To start a business and to put yourself out there. But what we've done from the beginning is we've chased creative excellence.
Yeah.
So whatever you're doing, just make sure your craft is something that you care about quite a bit and you focus on quite a bit. So we've focused on that. We've tried to go toe-to-toe with the best in the industry at every point.
Yeah.
And I think that's what sustained us for the most part. Other than that, we're really nice people.
I love that. And Smooth, oh, please, not trying to go toe-to-toe with people. You guys won. Please, come on. And well done again. It is the Odd Number Agency doing the things that need to be done. And it's so beautiful to always be able to celebrate the creatives that make it so worth it in terms of what we consume. Right about now, though, we got to head back to Cape Town. Carl, what's happening that side?